People talk about money all the time, as if they know what they're talking about. The money comes from inside them. The value comes from inside them. Where's the debt? Like, it doesn't exist. It's not a thing. So like, people talk about money all the time, as if they know what they're talking about. Literally. Oh, I saved this and I spent that and I'll never make this and it's so easy to be a millionaire and so hard to be a millionaire and you gotta hustle. They think they know about money. But have they studied it? Do they really know what they're talking about? No. Because before money existed, like in caveman times, people bartered. Right? So what? They were all just stupid? Like none of them knew anything because they didn't have money and they were clueless? Like there was no geniuses back in caveman times that brought our society forward? No. People knew stuff, but they didn't need money to know it. They understood value and resources, and they understood that it's all just energy. Like if one guy's a natural born chef or has a flair for cooking, and the other guy has a flair for carpentry, then they can help each other. Like their whole community or whole society will benefit if the cook gets to do more cook things and the carpenter gets to do more carpentry things, and then they can exchange when they each have need. And so, like, the money comes from inside them. The value comes from inside them. It's not some magic thing you have to hunt down and chase, and it's a huge burden, and to dedicate courses to it. No. You're born with money inside you. Cavemen were, and we still are. That has not changed. Yeah, and the trick is, like, it's tied to happiness and fun and value. If you're being the chef doing the cooking, then you're having fun doing what you love to do, and you're being valuable to others, great. Then good, like you can offer that to people and they'll offer you other good things in return. If the carpenter gets to do carpenter things, he loves it, what he's doing, and he's building great things and people value it, then great. He can exchange that and other good things come to him. When you're valuable, that's when you get to barter. That's when you get to trade. That's when you get to flow energy towards someone else and receive it in return. And that's what money is. The cash flow of money flows for the same reason. And so, if you're not happy and you're grinding out doing the thing, if the chef is forced to carpenter to build a house, he's going to build a terrible house. Everyone's miserable. Probably it sets them up for a tornado or something. And like he can't build a life on that. He can't receive money and flow money and receive value and flow value based on that, on the thing that he hates. It's not possible. I mean, you could do it in the short term, but super unsustainable. And the whole community will collapse if everyone's doing that. Or even if like one person's doing that. Like it can't last. If you think about caveman times and bartering, how can there be a debt? Right? If our whole economy is founded on bartering and money is just a convenient way of exchanging bartering services and products, like one family is fine and they have a carpenter, and the other family is fine and they have a chef. If the chef decides not to cook, has the carpenter lost anything? Is he in debt? Right. And if the carpenter decides not to build, does the chef lose anything? Is he magically a worse human or something? Does the carpenter owe the chef something now? Right. So they agree to barter, and then one of them decides to stop. They're not happy anymore. Fine. It can't. And so even if the carpenter promises, like, I promise 6 months from now I'm going to build you a house, and the chef's like, 6 months from now I'm going to, they change their minds and don't. Is there a debt? Like, does something exist? Like, what? You know what I mean? People use words all the time. People's emotions change, moods change. Like, you hope someone's going to keep their word, but if someone decides not to keep their word, where did the magical Neanderthal government come down and decide, like, that's a debt, right? It's a made-up thing. It doesn't exist. Right now, if all of the debtors of the world died, they just couldn't pay, what would happen to the ones who lent it? Would their world collapse? Would they be sick and ill? Like, No, they're fine. They're physically fine as humans, and the debt is now wiped out. Like, there's no one to pay it. So what? The world ends? Nothing happened? Like, the world doesn't go on? No. So if you welch on a debt, like, I'm not encouraging people to, because your word is important. Integrity is important. It's always good to pay what you say you will. But I'm saying, worst case, a tornado happens and all the debtors are on an island and they all get wiped out. It's whatever. Really, it's whatever. Like, the buildings will still run, electricity will still go, the people who are still alive will continue on, and they'll be like, oh man, I never got to collect on that debt. Oh well. Let's put up the Christmas tree. Like, it doesn't exist.